Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Team Fortress TV's coverage of ESEA Invite Season 28, our first casted invite match of the season. My name's Cornpop. I'm joined by MyAnimeList, my casting partner. Console's on production. We're going straight into the game. It's MyAnimeList taking on Velocity in a grudge match. They've played on this map twice in the past 2 seasons. Each time Velocity's been able to take it. We're going to roll it straight to this first mid before we can give you too much more information. Sapphire's on Demo Man, as well as Jarrett going to be rolling out here. Everybody getting here about the same time, as it happens to be on Viaduct. Nobody down just yet. Nobody's super aggressive. Trip gonna be going for an early bomb over to Concrete, taking a lot of damage though. It's gonna be Rakuso gets the first strike on him. Tojo with a counter bomb though. Gonna be trying to get in onto that. But it looks like most of the Velocity gonna be coming out on top here. They've gotten 3 frags already and total control over the point now. They're just trying to chase out AZN and Yimmy, but they're all the way back in spawn. First mid fight going decisively in favor of Velocity Esports. Now, both medics did survive there. Sky and AZN going to be almost at 100%. AZN with a slight overcharge advantage, just being able to build that a little bit better. I don't believe there's any silly miniguns on the field. No, both should be overcharge. So they're going to be trying to take this fight in. They have popped it off. Sky only at 96%, so she's got to be a little bit careful. Got a little bit low, about 50% HP before that, before she was able to pop that off. So they're going to be fine. Nobody dead in this fight just yet, but they have managed to get Trip in behind. Speedy barely gets that without being taken out himself. Tojo as well cleaned up by Rakuso. Boar, however, pushed across that point. Still playing that skill class, did suffer for that. Does the first player down. Jarrett going down as well to Sapphire's, meaning that there's a little bit of trouble with that Velocity. They will lose the point, however, being able to get a couple of bodies on that, taking out Kev and Yimmy, gonna be able to cap that off right back again. AZN, the sole survivor on MyAnimeList, being able to make it all the way back on spawn. And now Boar has come up on Sniper, his favorite class to play on this map, and this is going to be a force to be reckoned with as they're defending this point. Time ticking down, about 2 minutes still still remaining on the red team's clock. Tojo with a big bomb, what a shot from Rakuso. The mid-air air shot. They were right next to each other to be fair, but still very nicely done. Recharge popped off by Sky onto Shamu, chasing players in the back line. Sapphire's did get domed down by a nice shot by Boar, however he did pay for that with his life. Trip in the back lines get cleaned up by Shamu, who's currently on a 6 kill streak, doing a lot of work for his team as he often does. Star Scout player for Velocity Esports. They're going to be able to hold off on that push, but because that was a big sack-in for MyAnimeList, they kind of got what they wanted. They popped Supercharge off of Sky. AZN now with 100% will be able to push onto this middle points, and this is going to be very dangerous for Velocity. They want to force this off as early as possible. Rakuso going for that, and they will get the force off. They're going to lose Speedy and Rakuso for that pick. 4 players still alive on Velocity, going to be able to get all the way back out. 4, however, in a little bit of trouble. A nice serve, but kind of all for nothing. Trip going to be able to clean that frag up onto him. Point going to be going in favor of MyAnimeList, but still 70% from Sky. They're looking like they will be able to get right back in onto this middle points. Still building up with their team, just going to be getting up to 100% before they get onto this point again. Tojo pretty aggressive as well. They're going for a bit of a forward hold here, actually. This is a bit dangerous considering that they're at 50% Ubercharge advantage, but 2 quick frags actually going to help them out a lot as Ubercharge does get popped off by Sky onto Speedy and Jarrett running forward on this right-hand side. They got to watch out for Sapphire's, who's actually laying quite a few stickies. Hits a pipe on a Jarrett. Tojo going to end up being traded for that, and Speedy just sort of bombs into everybody in the enemy team, cleaned up by that. They broke the forward spawn, but they lost the Ubercharge, and they really lost too many players to be able to push onto that point, so they're not in too much better of a position here, Velocity Esports. Now they're still on this right side. The forward spawn, or the forward hold rather, has been broken completely. But with 100% coming up from AZN, Tojo actually respawning on Sniper. This is looking to be a pretty strong hold from MyAnimeList. Their time's still ticking down just past that 1 minute mark. Big bomb in by everybody. They're actually going to drop AZN. Oh boy, that was pretty crazy. They're going to be able to get all but just 2 frags on the side of Velocity Esports, Shamu and Sky, the last remaining players. That was a sack-in. Ideally, what you're going for there is the force out from AZN. Just sack 4 players, get the Ubercharge if you can. They actually got the drop, which is even better than what they were looking for. So that's really well done by them. Unfortunately, AZN had to drop that, but it was just a huge rush of aggression coming in from them. Now it's going to be 100% Ubercharge advantage for Sky. They still got to worry about the Tojo Sniper. That's still a threat over on the left-hand side, just sort of sitting back on concrete. Bit of an unorthodox spot, but the Ubercharge has been popped off. They're not going to drop it. They're kind of running players in forward, but they've lost a little bit of health. Sapphire's and Speedy end up trading. Tojo does get taken down as well by Rakuso, though, over on the right-hand side, so not a bad trade at all for Velocity. they're going to be able to get right back in charge at this point. But the time has kind of evened out. That was a strong hold by MyAnimeList, definitely what they wanted. But after AZN dropped, not a whole lot they could do in that situation. That's just sort of how the cards played out. So they do have overcharge advantage now. All right, 94% to 55 from Sky. So about a 40% ad. They should be able to push in here. They gotta watch out for Kuso, who's just gotten in behind and is fighting Tojo in a 1v2 now because Boar's back there as well. Kev trying to do some damage. Speedy bombing it on AZN, gonna be able to force that overcharge out, not dropping it this time. Kevin, Speedy, the two players to go down so far in this exchange. And Velocity are kind of scattered. They've still got Rakuso in the back lines. Boar has managed to return back to his team. But it looks like Tojo as well is sort of on the flank. Bit of a chaotic fight still going around. Rakuso in the back lines, jumping all over the place. Managed to find the frag on a Sapphic, so he's doing a lot of work. Finally cleaned up by Trip back there. Point time ticking down, but they will force an overtime. Sky popping that overcharge off. Tojo standing at the point very, very low. Finally gets cleaned up by Boar and Shamu. Both end up getting a frag each. Looks like Kev still fighting this point as well, trying to get Shamu. Big, actually, rock coming up from Speedy. Trip also getting taken down. Everybody's dying on the side of MyAnimeList. It's just Sapphic. He's got to kill 4 players here, but that's not going to happen. First round will be going in favor of Velocity Esports, taking it 1-0 early here in this map of Viaduct.
Can you hear me, Cornpop?
I can, Mela. You missed the first round.
I
glad
definitely
you're with
did.
me now.
What happened?
Velocity won it pretty decisively. There's about a minute still on MyAnimeList clock. We're going to the second mid fight now. So I'll take this one before you can jump in and give us some analysis. But here we see bomb in very high, very long from Tojo. Takes a lot of fall damage, and Shamu will clean that up on him. Trip as well, cleaned up by Boris. This is going all in favor of Velocity. They're getting every single frag. Finally, Rakuso goes down, but even on the flank, cleaned up, and that leads just AZN, the medic, running back to spawn. And he'll barely make it in before Shamu can force him away. Not able to clean up on that frag, but regardless, a very dominating mid-fight in favor of Velocity, as they have been this whole match.
Yeah, important that AZN stayed alive because now they have an opportunity, MyAnimeList, to push immediately. That is going to get stalled out there with Tojo going down. You don't want to exchange Ubers 5v6 trying to push into mid, so it's going to buy some time for Velocity to just run down the King of the Hill clock. MyAnimeList just waiting on the cliff for the Uber exchange. Sapphics actually really low. This isn't really good for MyAnimeList. They're going to commit here with 2 members super low. I can't imagine they're going to win this fight.
Yeah, you see both of the charges were exchanged off. I mean, looks like Yimi's gonna be the first one to go down with Boar pushed aggressive on that right-hand side. He ate a lot of damage for it, but still staying alive because Shamu was able to push with the rest of his team forward. Rakuso on the right-hand side takes down Tojo. So it's, once again, all going in favor of Velocity. Speed finds one on a trip. That lead is just Sapphic. And AZN looks like way in the back line to Rakuso. How's he still alive? He managed to trade for Sapphic. So an excellent flank by him, getting all the way in the back lines and doing a whole bunch of damage on MyAnimeList.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a miscommunication there on MyAnimeList. Sapphic was at 14 HP, Scout went down to 10, and they still exchanged Ubers, and those 2 players couldn't do anything throughout the whole fight. Like, there's just no way they're ever going to win that, so... Now, even Ubers, though, actually Trip going down. Velocity just has a grip on this midpoint right now. MyAnimeList not really with any good opportunities to push. Kev overextending, he's going to go down. Sapphics pushing across the point. Good damage onto the soldiers, though. He's actually getting shot in the back now by the scouts, and he's going to go down. Somehow, Velocity falling apart, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They had the opening frag, but they allowed Sapphics to just walk across the point, dump out damage, and that allowed MyAnimeList to win a push that they really had no rights winning.
Yeah, it was a really good job separating the players on the side of MyAnimeList. They just forced Sky all the way back. She hit a nice surf to stay alive, but that did mean she was separated from the rest of her team. Couldn't really heal them. And, yeah, as you said, push across the point, managed to cap it off. 30 seconds gone by, but already you see Velocity. They're recapping this point. AZN doesn't want any of that, but regardless, the point does get capped right before they can stand on it with that Uber charge. So Speedy and Tojo both go down. That's a soldier down from each side. Boar in the back lines with the Bat Rocket from Trip. Looks like Rakuso back there as well is going to be trying to cause some damage a little later on in the fight. But look at those aggression coming up from MyAnimeList. They've gotten 2 quick frags now. They're trying to take down Shamu, but he's got a full buff. And here comes Rakuso from the back lines with the frag on a Yimi. And they're just trying to get AZN. AZN's on 17 HP, but there's nobody to kill him anymore. Trip got taken down by Sky. And so this is going to be AZN staying alive, capping that point off with the team. And Velocity Esports once again sent back towards their spawn.
Yeah, they want to get aggressive right away, though. They actually have the sniper from Boar, one of the best in the game, of course, so MyAnimeList are going to have to watch those sight lines, make sure not to peek. while simultaneously not giving up ground, which is kind of what they're doing. Is Jarrett's able to push forward, get one kill, Shamu traded out the 5v5 Uber advantage for MyAnimeList. Honestly, they just need to go with this right now. You don't want to sit back while you have an Uber advantage and then a sniper, but they might not know that it's that significant of an advantage. No, they are going to go, but it might be too late. Sky's at 92%. They're trying to get onto her, but it's not going to happen. That overextended scout's going to go down, and now this is a pretty easy repush here for Velocity.
They did lose Jarrett, which is not going to be great for them, but Boris hitting a couple of shots. There's a second one onto Trip. As you mentioned, one of the best snipers in the game for a reason. And they're bringing him out here on Viaduct, one of the best sniper maps. I hear another one ring out. I believe that was onto Kev with the headshot. So, excellent job at the sniper player of Velocity eSports. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of him on Sniper, to be honest. He's playing a lot of Scout so far on this map, which is a little bit surprising to me, considering Sniper's so strong. But regardless, I mean, he's playing the class now, getting the results they want, and Velocity has secured this point fairly significantly.
Yeah, MyAnimeList trying to push up again with slight ads since they popped earlier in that fight. Soldiers trying to get into the flank. That's what you want to do on the Viaduct push, is abuse the flank, and that's what they're trying to do right now. But Velocity kind of holding them at bay. Rakuso hitting some huge rockets. Kev is so weak behind. He's probably going to go down right now to Shamu. But so much aggression from MyAnimeList just because of the fact that Boar is on Sniper. There's not enough denial on the soldiers. Tojo's in so deep right now, and he's going to take out Sky.
Wow.
Oh my god, and all these pipes flying in from Saffrex. The remaining Velocity players with just a sliver of HP to go around, so they're going to be all running back to the respawn. And that was a case where the Sniper didn't pay off, and MyAnimeList did the right thing, which is push the flank, and with only one scout to try to shut down the bombing soldiers, this is not going to happen.
It was a good attempt. I mean, we saw some nice rockets coming out from Rakuso, as you kind of mentioned, but yeah, no, unfortunate. Now we see Velocity still pushing out, though. A big bomb in by Speed. They're going for this giant sack, and they're going to hit the frag onto Saffrex. Rakuso way up in the air does get taken down by the SMG of Tojo, who's also playing that sniper class, but it looks like he's going to end up losing the sniper 1v1 Boar from all the way in the back lines. Going to do this easy body shot onto him, so that was the big sack-in from Velocity eSports. They didn't get what they wanted, Male. They didn't get that Uber charge out of AZN.
Yeah, Sky is going to have the Uber. Tojo just coming back up. Actually, he's going to be on the Sniper again. This could be quite the mistake, because Ubers are going to be traded. He's going to have to go huge, otherwise they're going to lose this, you know, DM fight post-Uber. Shamu coming forward right now, and Ubers are going to get traded. Actually, Saffrex going down, and they have Tojo Sniper. This is not looking good for Anime.
Yeah, big pipe coming from Jarrett to be able to start that off with an early frag before the Uber charges get popped off. Shamu following up on a Tojo as well. The aggression from Velocity just working so well. Now, there is kind of a flank coming in from Trip. He did some damage down. Kev able to clean up on that, but regardless, it doesn't matter because Speedy Shamu doing a whole bunch of work for the team, getting the frags. MyAnimeList got the full wipe.
Yeah, those are really just two large errors to have at the beginning of a fight that really are going to cost your team. Like, having the sniper there is it's just not a good choice, and obviously dropping Saffrex, that's the nail in the coffin. Now
it is decently Uber charge advantage in favor of Sky, but it doesn't seem like MyAnimeList really care. They can't. It's overtime on the point. They need to be able to stand on. This is all coming to this last fight. Big bomb in by Speedy, but they're all kind of getting clobbered on. Trip in the back line, taking some really nice rockets. Still ends up dying, but it doesn't really matter because the rest of the team's doing so much work. They're going to stay on that point and double overtime, tie up the game.
Yeah, that's just a well-executed push there from MyAnimeList. I mean, nothing really else to say about that. They just pushed exactly how you're supposed to in that situation.
And just catch Velocity off with that aggression, and now they're going to be trying to bring that into this third mid-fight of the game. Tied at 1 here between these two teams. Boar eating a big rocket early on, of course a little bit farther away, so not huge damage. But here we go, Trip with the first bomb in, just getting in behind, not really getting any damage on anybody. Finally cleaned up by Shamu though, not the great positioning by him. Kevin backline though, gonna be doing a lot of damage to Sky. The first one to go down on the side of Velocity. Jarrett the second. Those two players you don't want to be seeing dying on your mid-fight. There we go, another big pipe in from Saffrex, cleaned up Speedy. Looks like this is going all in favor of MyAnimeList. Just great defensive mid from them, bombing forward, and for the last player alive, not able to make anything happen at all. What even happened there? MyAnimeList looked like they're totally in control now.
Yeah, I mean, to no surprise, MyAnimeList just appears as a team far more coordinated. The mistakes so far that have cost them fights have been individual ones, not team ones. Velocity is making team mistakes, where MyAnimeList is just a far more cohesive unit, which is to be expected since this is the same roster nearly for like the third season in a row. As the sack comes in, and it is going to work. AZN super low on HP, he pops it off. Rakuso going to get out of there with his life, and now Sky 50% ad.
And Speedy's still in the back line, actually just got that health pack, so he's still able to do some damage. In a 1v1 with Trip over on Cliff, but he will barely lose that one. Some nice rockets coming up from both soldiers, but in the end, Trip's going to be the one to come out on top. So that's another player down on the side of Velocity. I mean, they can't really do a whole lot based off that. Speedy will be respawning very shortly here, so not a huge issue. But 100% from Sky, 35 from AZN. So this is basically their point to take. They just got to walk up and grab it. The issue is, will Sky have to pop for this, or will they be able to just bully their way onto it? Tojo and Kev going over on this right-hand side. Trip as well, actually, over by Concrete. They're just pressuring this flank. They're going to get the frag onto Rakuso. Speedy very low as well. Sky still doesn't pop that supercharge off. Jared's getting very low. This could be a bit of a mistake. Does get killed before the supercharge popped off. Still not going to be able to pop it. 2 down on the side of MyAnimeList. They might not have to pop it, but they have that opportunity. 95 from AZN, so it's going to be an even trade very shortly. Charge, never mind the drop. AZN eats a big rocket from Speedy, so nothing matters at this point. Safford is about half HP. They just need to clean up this Demo Man frag, and this point should be theirs to take, Mela.
Yeah, that shot from Speedy, it pretty much changes the entire course of how this round might have played out, because Velocity was making a massive team error there, just not going in with this huge Uber head. They were just sitting around at their rock eating spam. They just needed to pop and go in, and then they allowed AZN to build 30%. Or, I mean, he was at 30%. He built 70% before they pushed. I mean, yeah, that was not good from Velocity, so Speedy completely saves them. Uber is going to get popped out here from Sky. Sack's coming in. They're all going to get cleaned up. Just Sojo and Kev alive. But they accomplished the goal they had in mind, which is getting that Uber force. AZN building up the spawn with Yimi at 60%. Kev, he's way in the back lines right now, running around, but this might not work out. Boar's going to be on the respawn. He's going to have to get a kill and stay alive, really. And yeah, he gets found out, and he's going to go down and spawn, which is just, yeah, that's not good, because now MyAnimeList has to push 5v6 with Uber. He should have just died with the rest of his team on sack.
Not working out great for him. Tojo getting aggressive, and this time MyAnimeList will be able to pop the recharge off at the beginning of this push. And Sky getting so low, so early. She's on 14 HP, but manages to get all the way back on the spawn. The rest of her team, though, not looking so lucky. Shamu gets cleaned up, but Trip and Kevin, as they're pushing forward, do get taken down by the coordination of Velocity, but they're all so low. Boar and House very, very low. Tojo and Yimi looking for these easy frags, but they can't seem to find any of them. A nice rocket from Speedy as he bombed in on the scout player, being able to get that last frag. Rakuso in the back line looking for more as well. Sees AZN, but he's a little bit too far, so he's just going to back off. Tojo not done just yet. Looking for Sky. Can he hit the air shot? Nope, not quite.
Yeah, MyAnimeList overcommitted for the pick onto Sky, which would have been good if they got the pick onto Sky, but they did not do that. So it all just fell apart from there because they're all the way in the enemy's back lines, just nothing to show for it. I mean, they all just go down afterwards. So MyAnimeList just really failing to hit the shots. Sky with some nice dodging, able to get back in the spawn, get the Uber, and is still sitting on that Uber, 100%. AZN just building up to 100 now. It's going to be an even exchange.
Coming up on this left-hand side, over by their concrete. Bombing forward now. Tojo's throwing Shamu way up in the air. Nobody popped the recharge off just yet, but AZN ended up looking to do it. Sky gave the first one to pop it off. Boar cleaned up, though, very early in this frag. First one to go down. Shamu in a little bit of trouble. There's some weird players around them, but AZN caught her in a position too far forward. The recharge ends. Still going to be able to stay alive. No, he will not. Jarrett takes him down, but that leaves just 2 left alive. Speedy's one of them in the back lines. Does end up trading with Tojo, but not quite what he wanted for the rest of his team, all going down at the same time. Jarrett and Boar, the only survivors, and Boar's off that respawn, so MyAnimeList coming out on top.
Yeah, the thing is, MyAnimeList, since they capped the point, Sky was actually spawning first, so they can push right now. AZN isn't even in the fight. And wow, Boar, early fight, takes out Saffrix. That's pretty huge. So now Velocity, they're going to be walking up to the point. AZN, he's just arriving at the fight, and with no demo, this should be an easy win for Velocity. MyAnimeList actually want to fight this, which is interesting. Oh my god, Tojo domes Sky. The bombing soldier in goes down. Shamu cleans up 1, so somehow this is now going the way of MyAnimeList because they have the sniper who would hit the miracle shot. I mean, if he doesn't hit that, it's definitely, you know, fight over for them as he just blasts Jarrett in the face, so.
If your sniper's getting 2 picks, you want him to be on the demo man in the med. That was an excellent job by Tojo. If you think of, okay, who's going to go off on sniper in this match, you don't think Tojo. You're thinking Boar for sure. But he's been so silent, barely been playing sniper at all. this could be costing his team as there's 5 seconds left on the MyAnimeList clock. No time on point for Velocity. They need to get on it right now. Do or die for them. They do get a couple of players on point, but here comes the pop out from AZN. Kevin, Tojo both getting taken down. This is going pretty well for Velocity. They just need to keep their players alive, and AZN's in such a terrible position. Should die. Thankfully, Speedy cleans that one up. They're getting all the frags, only losing Shamu. 40 seconds they're going to have to push into an Uber charge. This is looking bad for MyAnimeList.
Yeah, if they go quick, they might not have to face the Uber, but because they're actually Velocity, they're not building this effectively at all. In that they're not building. Okay, now they're finally starting to build. They could have been doing that for a minute, but MyAnimeList, they're now coming in. Huge bomb in from Tojo, really deep. He's just gonna go down, not really doing much. Trip in deep as well, gonna probably trade with Speedy. No, he doesn't even get the trade. The Uber's actually popped off, and all MyAnimeList is getting totally crunched right now. Just ineffective soldier bombs in the Uber, and they just didn't go quick enough. I mean, I think they had a few seconds where they were going a little bit too slow, and that Tojo bomb was strange. Like, he just kind of landed in the middle of the point. He just needed to go in deep. They all needed to commit, and they needed to do it a few seconds earlier. They wasted a few seconds, so MyAnimeList is not going to have done there. Velocity, really, there's honestly been quite a few glaring mistakes so far on both sides. But Velocity is winning a lot of these crucial DM battles, so that's been kind of the edge they've had up until this point, in my opinion.
Well, coming to this forced mid-fight, of course, they could end the half right here. Velocity if they win this round, or MyAnimeList could once again tie it up. Tojo taking a lot of damage early on, gonna stop any bomb that he might have been looking forward to at the beginning of this mid-fight. Still over in Connector, it looks like Trip's gonna be the one to get aggressive. Boar was on Sniper that mid and does get punished for it as he gets cleaned up the first frag. Jarrett's gonna be the second one, so this is going all in favor of MyAnimeList. Speedy is cleaned up as well. It is just everybody feeding in and dying. That's kind of what happens, Mela, when you bring a Sniper to mid and he hits nothing.
Yeah. Yes, you just did my analysis for me. You can continue talking.
Well, they're trying to break out of this forward spawn. They still keep Boar on Sniper, which is interesting, because this has got to be a tough spot to hit a shot. And yeah, he's not going to be able to hit that one. I get that he's probably one of the best snipers in the game, but that's still a tough spot. They exchange Uber charges over on the flank. But really nobody other than Boar dying over in choke, so they're not able to break the forward spawn. Shamu's gonna die. I don't even know where he died, but Trip was able to get that one with a couple of quick rockets, so unaffected push out of that forward spawn.
Yeah, that's just about the worst exchange for Velocity possible. Having the Sniper and him dying while you're exchanging Ubers trying to get out of a forward hold, like, yeah, that's not a good situation for them, and it makes it easy for MyAnimeList to redo the forward hold. Shamu trying to get out with Air Blast. That's not going his way, and Velocity's actually getting crunched. Trip just pounding them with the rockets as they try to get through the choke, and that's 4 down. Uber's still both teams even, but yeah, Velocity, this is going to be tough to break. They're going to have to adapt and do something a bit different. They're just not sending out enough players main. Like in that situation, they had 3 players walking out of the left side, so Trip just melted them with the rockets. They were all eating that damage, and that just didn't work. Like, you could have the Pyro go out there, but then you need people to be going out main at the same time. Like, everyone, 5 players shot at the Pyro. Send someone out main, you know? But they didn't, so.
And all this time, the time is ticking down in favor of MyAnimeList. Here we come for the second time popping out of this spawn. They get the pop out of AZN, but it's a lot later, so Sky's Supercharge is going to be fading pretty soon here. Shamu left out to die. Boar as well gets cleaned up by Tojo. They do get that one exchange. Speedy's in on an AZN, but not enough damage. Jarrett's even going to get caught out. That leaves only Sky running all the way back to spawn. They're having such a difficult time breaking out of this forward hold. I mean, usually this is something where a couple exchanges go by, but you should be able to break it. But time and time again, they're failing at this, Mela.
Yeah, MyAnimeList finally now on the retreat. Tojo's back up on the Sniper. They have a slight ad here, but Velocity finally an opportunity to actually take this point, unless Tojo just shuts that down with some headshots. Trade coming out from the Soldier Bomb, and Velocity, tons of presence on the point. They're probably just going to get this cap off. Shamu getting a little aggressive. Scout overextended behind the rock. He's probably going to go down. Tojo gets one onto Rakuso. Actually, Yimmy wins that 1v1. Oh no, that was unfortunate. Yimmy needed to die there, and both scouts could have fought him, and then one backed off, and they, oh no, that's, yeah. This is not a good situation. Velocity, they don't even have the Uber yet, and they're going to have to go back in relatively soon. They are about to get it, though, so looks like they want to push here from the cliff, take the even exchange.
This is an even exchange. They're going to have to win. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. This is their best opportunity to not lose this round. popping off, leading with Shamu. It's going to be the solo Uber. ESEA pops in kind. Going to be focusing on Yimi with the supercharge. Rakuso, Boar both get taken down. The backline, Shamu ran all the way back, trying to get this frag on a Saffrix. Finally will get it. Now he's in on ESEA, but the rest of the team have collapsed in on him, just doing his best to stay alive. He actually gets ESEA as well. Shamu doing good for his team, but that's going to be enough to let his team get on that point, forced into overtime. Trip with a big bomb,
oh
and
my God.
Jarrett staying alive. Will get that follow-up frag, though. Regardless, the rest of his team will get cleaned up, and Sky stays alive. So overall velocity, despite getting air shot and Jarrett taken down, they will be able to hold on this point with supercharge advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. ESEA just coming up to have 50% ad. I would have liked to see them do the forward hold. What just, you know, messed up this round for them up until this point, what ran off the clock all 3 minutes for MyAnimeList, I would have liked to seen them do the same thing, but they opt not, and they're going to be in passive positions holding the cliff, just waiting for the sacks to come in, and here they come. Yes, Saffrix, huge bomb in. Actually, on to Sky. Oh my God, he gets the fourth just with one clean sticky at the feet of Sky. She's going to have to pop that off. They are going to get the frags here, clean everybody up, but ESEA 75% Uber, they're going to have an opportunity here to push. I'd like to see Boar come on Sniper right now and go for the miracle shot. No, he's going to be on Scout. I really would have liked to see him snipe because they do need some magic to happen right now. Else, MyAnimeList is looking to definitely take this round.
Boar seemingly not super on tonight, but 100% overcharge from ESEA, 50 from Sky. This is the opportunity to end out the round. It's basically theirs to take, but losing Tojo early is not going to be great for Rakuso getting the back lines, hoping to ride this one out in the long term, come back a little bit later once the Supercharge is faded. Everybody from Velocity has just retreated as Supercharge is absolutely nothing but gain ground. Now we see the soldiers bombing right in. They're going to just kind of die. They get the frag on ESEA, but a medic in this situation, not sure that's exactly what you want. 3 left alive inside of Velocity. They need to win here. Sky stalls out long enough to get her Ubercharge. That could be what they need. She needs to juggle these players, keep them alive. And they're doing exactly that. Jarrett and Shamu doing everything they need to clean up these players. There's one still in here from Kev. Will lose his life to Shamu, so Velocity played that so well.
Yeah, clutch Uber there at the end, and well played to Shamu, just cleaning up everyone. I mean, that's the situation where you just need to hit your shots, and he hits all of them, so well played by him. Ubers are going to be even here, 60 seconds left on the clock. This was looking like a sure round for MyAnimeList, but they're, you know, their grasp on it is loosening. They're trying to come from the cliffside. They're dropping down. Just trying to come up slowly, get some spam. Trip is in really deep. He goes down and doesn't get anything in return. It's going to be a bad start. He lives for a long time, but he does go down. Boar with one as well, or Shamu rather, onto Kev, and Tojo going down. This is not going to happen for MyAnimeList. They need to back up. Oh no!
Oh.
The random pipe at ESEA meets the respawn screen. Sky at 90% Uber. Somehow this round fell from their clutches. I mean, it looked like a sure round for them, but yeah, not looking so hot now.
It's not over yet. I mean, this is pretty much the same situation Velocity were in, and they were able to come out and stall it for like 3 minutes. So here we go with the aggressive bombs from MyAnimeList. They get the force on the Sky really early. That's what they need, but Sapplic's going down to Boar. Great job at the scout player. They get another one with Jarrett the Stickies. They lose Shamu. ESEA just trying to get out that point. The overtime has come out, but Trip so low, eats a rocket. That is going to be Velocity eSports ending this half 3-1.
That was a really nice Uber at the end from Velocity. I like that they chose to not play passive, because that's an easy situation where it's like, oh, all we have to do is win this one fight. We have an Uber. All right, let's just sit on it and let them sack in. But rather, when they saw MyAnimeList approaching the rock, they just popped into them with the scouts, and that was a great Uber because they just killed Saffrix immediately. ESEA was left alone. He went down. So I like that they chose to go aggressive with that rather than just sitting still. It's a good choice from Velocity. And overall, honestly, I feel like they're just still they're winning a lot of these DM fights. Tojo had that one sick play on Sniper, but other than that, I feel like the snipers haven't been doing a whole lot, and Tojo's sniper timing hasn't been that great. Like in that round, the one time when he went Sniper, it just was not at the right time, and it cost his team a fight. But really, MyAnimeList, that forward hold was so good, and then they just weren't able to reclaim the point at any time. Their soldier bombs also, like, they're committing way too deep, way too early, like both of them. When they pushed up at the end there, Trip like double jumped so far behind, but the problem is he did that without recognizing the positioning of Velocity. Like you can double jump behind if everyone is close to the point. But he saw players on cliff, or he should have if he was, you know, like really looking. But I think he just wanted to get in deep because they wanted to push fast and go hard. But yeah, that was just not a good bomb because then he ends up in too deep and the team is playing passive waiting for him. And when he goes down immediately, the push is just, you know, most likely going to fail when it's a 5v6. And same thing with Tojo. Like, yeah, these bombs are just not doing enough right now for MyAnimeList. They're kind of thoughtless.
Yeah, MyAnimeList having a tough time of things so far. I do want to look a little bit at these stats here, because if we can go back in ESEA history, the last 2 seasons, I briefly mentioned it, Velocity and MyAnimeList have met each other on this map, on Viaduct. Last season, it was a 4-0 for Velocity. The season before, it was a 4-2 also for Velocity. And in both of those matches, the top fragger was Shamu, and the top damager was Jarrett's. Now, you look at this match here and you say, well, it's a much different Velocity roster, and it is. They swapped out 4 players. But what's key here is the 2 players they didn't swap out were Shamu and Jarrett. And once again, if you look at these frags, top damager is going to be Jarrett, and top frag is Shamu. Shamu with 33 and Jarrett on the DPM 360. So, topping the enemy team as well. These are the players I wanted to highlight before the match started. We didn't really have time. So them showing up exactly as I expected them to. Pretty much the same fashion as what we've seen in the past couple seasons of ESEA between these 2 teams. I think ultimately, MyAnimeList, as you said, they're showing a lot of strength. And because they didn't change 4 players of their roster in the offseason, they only changed 1. They've had this opportunity to bond with each other, like grow with each other, and really gain cohesion as a team. As you kind of mentioned, like, they're making individual mistakes, but Velocity are making team mistakes. And that's because they are just like a mutt of a team sort of scrambled together at the end of the season.
Yeah. But that being said, it feels like the Velocity DM is just, they're winning a lot of DM fights. Like, Jarrett, I think, is a pretty underrated demo. And I think especially he's an underrated DMer. Like, his aim is pretty crazy across the board. He can actually play every class, and he has sick aim. So he's no joke.
Well, he's going to have to put that aim to work here as we're going to the second half. Trying to land some pipes if he's lucky. Trying to get some damage down on Saprex. Nobody getting super aggressive just yet. The point already being available. Tojo trying, but he's kind of getting stuffed. He's going to die to fall damage in the back line. It's not a great start to MyAnimeList in the second half. They need to win every single round here. They don't want to lose Yimmy as well. Not finding too much luck. That's 2 players down. Velocity all nice and healthy. 4 in the back lines, as well as Rakuso. They're going to get cleaned up, or at least one of them is. 4 finds the frag over onto Trip, and that forces the rest of MyAnimeList back into their spawn. It's going to be another Velocity mid.
Yeah, these Velocity mids have been pretty strong. I think they've won the majority at this point. I know they have at least 3, but regardless, Ubers are going to be even here. MyAnimeList struggling to push the point in the last map. This is where they lost 3 minutes off the clock straight, trying to repush the point. So we'll see if they maybe fix something in halftime. Trip getting a little aggressive with the bomb, not as aggressive previously as the Ubers are going to get traded. He's going in behind Jarrett. In trouble, but no, Sky comes back, gives him the flash, and in the meantime, though, Shamu with a pick on a kill. Oh my god, how are they finding all these frags? Just pushing the flank, finding tons of frags. AZN caught out. He's going to be going down. Rakuso, a scout coming in trying to save it, but Shamu and Jarrett just hit him with the 1-2 scatter pipe, so pretty clean win there for Velocity. MyAnimeList continuing to struggle to push the point, and now we find ourselves in the situation that Velocity found themselves in last time, except this time it's MyAnimeList. They're getting forward-holded upon in the red spawn. We'll see if they can break this. Velocity struggle too. They are sending a player out to main Tojo, but he's so much quicker than everyone else. I'm not really sure what the idea is here. He goes down so fast. Trip now just coming out with a pyro. The timing really off here. And it's going to cost them. They lose the med, they're losing the pyro, they're losing everybody who dared step through a doorway. And now the demo, Saprex, he's out. Yeah, that was some really, really bad timing. I really don't know how that happens unless someone just actually does not call when to go, which must have happened, because that was not good at all.
Now they're coming through the cliffside, and they're actually exchanging quite a few. They're going to get Jarrett, which is the important frag. They've lost 3 for it, though. And
oh my god, Rakuso played.
I mean, it's fine if you sack in, like, 4 players, and it's just a garbage push, like you're totally mistimed, and you don't get anything for it. But when your med dies, that completely erases all the progress you were making building that Uber charge up. When your med dies at 65% pushing into that forward spawn, it's a complete disaster and a total, like, waste of your energy. So This is unfortunate. Now MyAnimeList have an opportunity to get in here. They got enough frags that Velocity was scared off, but they still got such a huge overcharge advantage. They just need to use it. Here they go. In the back lines, Rakuso's actually been in a little bit of trouble, but AZN once again clapped on by Speedy. They're going for this weird rat play, but it didn't seem to pay off them. Sapphire's is in the enemy team spawn. Trip actually really aggressive, does clean off Rakuso, but regardless, Velocity still seem in control of this fight. They're going to get the cleanup frags now. Sapphire's still in the back lines, but what's he going to do?
Yeah, I gotta say, I think MyAnimeList might be in a bit of a tilt mode after that last round, because all their pushes in this round have been pretty careless, and there hasn't really been much rhyme or reason to the team decision-making in those pushes, what the individual parts of the team are doing. Shimu with a pick here, and actually the Pyro, Rakuso, just W, mouse 1, sets many players ablaze. But actually, somehow MyAnimeList might win this. Unless, yeah, Bori's trying to get healed, and somehow they are gonna... They're not gonna cap, though, which is smart. They're gonna allow their players to get the quicker respawns, and now they're gonna cap it up. Sapphire's about to get on there, I imagine. Wait, they could cap...
Yeah.
They did? Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, my game is being strangely glitched then. Velocity, they're pushing the cliff. They have full Uberad, though, so... It might end it here.
Yep, getting aggressive now on the enemy team. Trips back and over by the cliff, fighting Boar in a 1v1. He's kind of trying to get back in favor with his medic and Speedy. He's pressuring over there. Meanwhile, back on the point, though, really good aggression by MyAnimeList. Kevin Sapphire's doing a whole bunch of work, and now that just leaves one Boar alive on the flank. He does not live long. Takes Tojo with him, but regardless, if Velocity Esports lose this match because Rakuso threw one fight on Pyro, that's that's not going to be good.
We may see the reverse sweep of the last round, at least. With the last round was the 3-0, and the Velocity one might be 3-0, and then, you know, Velocity pushing up here. Boar with the entry pick, kept going down. Sapphire's trying to regain control of positioning on the point, doing damage. Yimmy with a pick, Shamu getting real low. Yimmy on the chase, bomb coming in from Tojo. Jarrett exposed and alone. He's going to go down. And now in behind is Rakuso, going for the bomb in onto the demo. He can't really locate the med, which is the crucial pick. So he's going to get nothing for his efforts. AZN remaining alive, both teams at 60% Uber. MyAnimeList with control of the point once more, holding on to control of the point, rather. Velocity gearing up for a push on the cliffside. Sky building slightly more effectively.
A minute 20 left on the clock. Still overtime for Velocity Esports. Just need to get on this, and it's actually a crit streak play coming up from Jarrett. They need to get some frags in here, but the boom charge has been popped off by AZN. They will get Yimmy with those crits, and Trip as well cleaned up, dropped amidst this uber charge. Nobody down on the side of Velocity really weren't effective with that at all. In the back, who's able to get some frags? This is going to be the end, thrown way up in the air. Tojo, the last player left alive, will fall with Doom, cleaned up by a scattergun. And Velocity Esports take the match 4-1.
Yeah, well played by Velocity at the end there. Well played to Jarrett. I mean, he got 3 kills with the crits. You can't ask for much more than that. 3 kills with the crits while the other team had an Uber. He somehow still found a sticky and then a pipe, and then after the Uber fade, he has a sticky. That was so well played to Jarrett. He just had a huge crits at the end there to clutch it out for his team. And yeah, Velocity, I mean, they looked a bit sloppy as a team at some points, mostly earlier on in the game and in that round where they were getting forward holded on, but overall, I just think their DM play was much better. And I think that their soldier play in this match, at least, was better than Tojo and Trip. Rakuso was just, his bombs had, there's just more thought behind them. He was making smarter plays, I feel, and same with Speedy. He was just playing a bit of a safer role as the pocket, but nonetheless, he was effective in the fights and not throwing his life away needlessly, which that can happen a lot on Viaduct when you're a soldier. Sometimes it's hard to find the balance between making plays and not dying in a map that's so dominated by scouts, and Speedy did a nice job of sitting in that threshold.
You know, I was talking with ex-Velocity player Kryptonite just before the match, and he said that the best chance MyAnimeList have, that they're able to take down Sky quite a bit. And if we look at these stats, that's absolutely not what happened. Sky with 6 deaths, okay. But then you look at AZN, more than triple the deaths of Sky. 19 deaths from AZN. I don't feel like we talked about AZN dying a lot, but he was going down a ton, and it shows in these stats. 2 overcharge drops as well. I think they were both just from like aggression. Oh, it was one really nice rocket from Speedy, and then the other was just a sack in with really fast aggression onto him. So both of those are tough spots for Medics. Certainly he could have popped in those situations, but it's really difficult. And I don't blame him too much for those two drops. And obviously, 19 deaths, especially on Viaduct, that's more of a team issue than a Medic issue. But him dying a lot is certainly representative of how this match went. And then as far as the stat leaders here, as is tradition, Jarrett leads on damage and Shamu leads on frags, similar to what we saw both in Season 27 and Season 26.
Yeah, Shamu's he's been pretty consistent for a while. I still think that he has some untapped skill that he could release at some point. I still feel like he could grow a bit more, but he's been a consistent top scout for feels like quite a while now. So unsurprising for him to put on a performance like that. And same with Jarrett. Actually, I feel like Jarrett could. He still has room to grow as a player. I don't think he's done advancing his play yet. He's a pretty solid overall player, but I think his consistency, if Jarrett could play like he plays today on a more consistent basis, even maybe like 25% more of the time, make a pretty large difference in my opinion, because he definitely has the skill to do it.
Yeah, I want to say, I don't think Velocity is the second best team in North America, but I think they've got the second best scout pairing. I think Shamu and Boar is really scary, and especially on a map like Viaduct, where scouts are so crucial, and especially Sniper can be so crucial. Now, Boar didn't play a lot of Sniper. He didn't really show that off. He seemed to be having some sort of an off day, because I know he was playing it a lot in their scrims. But I feel like that's a huge reason for their success on this match today. Being a 4-1, it was certainly a close game. There were a couple of rounds there which definitely could have gone in favor of MyAnimeList. I think these two teams are actually really even in skill, but just the fact that we got Viaduct, we got a map that Velocity have consistently beaten MyAnimeList on, that they're really good on with their dominating scout combo. I think more so it's because of the map and because of the circumstances that Velocity eSports were able to pull out such a dominating scoreline over MyAnimeList. But I'm excited to see when these two teams rematch and Trip doesn't ban on the wrong matches, how these games will go.
Yeah, I think that this Velocity team could get pretty good, in my opinion. I think that Speedy was pretty impressive in that game, and he is obviously, as far as I know, I could be totally wrong, but I think he's new to Invite. I don't believe he's played it before, so he definitely has a lot of room to grow. And Rakuso's been really good. I think he's kind of underrated too. He's been a really top roamer in my opinion for a long time. Maybe not a long time, but for a significant period of time where he maybe hasn't gotten his deserved credit from the public. So I don't know. I think they could do pretty well. Certainly make playoffs at the least.
Yeah. Just looking back, I didn't know it was off the top of my head, but Speedy played Season 25 on Lunatic Esports. Remember that? I don't think they did very well. They got I'm 7th. Okay. That was a while back though. So
I don't think I was. Yeah, I think I was not there for that.
Yeah, but we've got the tables up on the stream right now, and as we can see, Friotech, Ascent, and Velocity, the only undefeated teams so far. I guess Omni 5 is technically undefeated, but they haven't won anything either. First week it's kind of rough to look at the standings, but this sort of shows how things are shaping up. One thing I wanted to mention at the beginning of the match, but we again didn't have time, was MyAnimeList took a surprise win over New Godflow. New Godflow is a team we haven't really had a chance to talk about. We haven't cast them at all, but it's a team. It's a team full of really big invite names. I'll just read out this roster for those who might not know about New Godflow, but it's basically the Patty team. They got Patty, Evil Mr. Muffins, Dingo, Marmaduke, Psy, and 404. A lot of great names, but they still managed to lose 2-5 against MyAnimeList earlier this week.
On what?
Yes, they were. Badlands.
Oh.
Apparently, their team coordination, from what I've heard, their team coordination is not quite there. But
well,
Yeah.
That being said, I guess it's going to be another up in the air for the, I guess, like third, fourth, fifth, sixth spots. Third, fourth, fifth, something like that.
Yeah, certainly. Like for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, like Lost Esports, MyAnimeList, New Godflow, all very good. Team Invite has been turning some heads in scrims as well. I'm excited to see what they can do. And then Omni 5, TF Crew, Black Swan, all capable of great things. So it's an exciting season ahead of us, Mela. We're just getting started here in week 1. Be sure to continue tuning in to teamfortress.tv. We're going to have more casts of ESEA Invite and Intermediate. We already did one earlier this week, and we will continue to be covering that division less so than Invite, but still consistently over the next couple weeks. So be sure to stick around. My name's Cornpop, of course, been Kaz, and here with Mela. Consul's been doing our excellent production, so give a lot of love to him in the chat. We will see you next time.